Now we turn our attention to the Sudan, the other country at war in the greater Arab region. The Sudan civil war hit the one-year mark today. It's been 1 year of carnage there. You have Sudan's army on one side and a paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces or RSF, on the other side. So it's a military junta versus warlord situation. And as you can imagine, civilians are bearing the brunt of this. 8.5 million Sudanese people have been displaced. It's the worst displacement crisis in the world right now. About 18 million people in the Sudan are facing food insecurity. 14 million children need humanitarian assistance, but it seems the world has forgotten them. Only waking up briefly on anniversaries like today before going back to ignoring the crisis. Here's our report.
All the countries of the world are busy with the rest of the world, but we are third world countries. No one is concerned about us. That is why we all suffered, honestly speaking.
That is the simple, grim assessment of the war in Sudan by a resident of Omdurman, the second most populous city in Sudan, a sister city to the capital, Khartoum. Both Khartoum and Omdurman mostly lie in ruins now, the result of 1 year of civil war. It started on the 15th of April 2023, when a paramilitary group called the Rapid Support Forces attacked the government's military bases. Sudan was already under the rule of a military junta, led by this man, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. He styles himself as the chairman of Sudan's Transnational Sovereignty Council. Sounds much nicer than calling oneself a junta chief. Al-Burhan took control after a coup in late 2021. He was joined by this man, Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, who also goes by the name Hemedti. Hemedti is the deputy chairman of Sudan's Transitional Council, basically al-Burhan's second in command. But last April, Hemedti tried to overthrow al-Burhan. That's why the RSF, which reports to Hemedti, attacked Sudan's military bases. This power struggle between al-Burhan and Hemedti has killed thousands and displaced millions. The death toll has crossed 15,000. About 33,000 people are injured. 8.6 million have been displaced. About 1.8 million people have fled to neighboring countries, mostly Chad, Egypt and South Sudan. The remaining 6.8 million are internally displaced, living on the streets or in refugee camps. 8.6 million displaced people. That's almost the entire population of Switzerland, more than double the population of Croatia. Sudan is facing the biggest displacement crisis in the world. More than a third of the country faces acute food insecurity. About 18 million people, almost 5 million of them are on the brink of famine. But almost no one has cared to try and save them. Before today, aid agencies had asked for $2.7 billion to try and help the people of Sudan. $2.7 billion from all international donors. How much did they end up getting? 6% of that. That's close to $160 million. About $10 for each person urgently in need of aid. But today, the world finally woke up on the 1-year anniversary of the war.
Germany will therefore provide a further €244 million in humanitarian aid to help the people of Sudan.
Germany isn't the only one. The entire EU is chipping in.
The European Commission will announce its contribution for the year 2024 in the amount of almost €355 million in order to reaffirm our support for the Sudanese.
The US is putting in some money too. It is pledging $100 million. Together, these pledges come close to $750 million. Still $2 billion shy of what the aid agencies have asked for, but much better than before. It's a shame, though, that we had to wait for an anniversary for the world to remember that the people of Sudan are suffering.
Iran has launched a direct attack from Iranian soil towards the State of Israel.